This is a 2013 Sunseeker 115 yacht, and it's a very impressive thing. Although built in 2013, it's had a refit recently. It's looking fantastic. It's for sale with Denison Yachts, my friends Denison, and we're going to take you on board and we're going to give you the full tour. This is an interesting boat, and I really like what they've done with it because although it is actually a decade old, A, you wouldn't think it, and B, it actually looks really fresh and modern inside. So we're going to head on in. You're starting to see some of the refit improvements straight away. So for example, all this upholstery with the Bentley style stitching is new. All the teak has been refinished. It's a really, really nice job. This is Pierre from Denison. Hello, Pierre.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Nick. Nice to meet you.
Pierre is the man to speak to if you want to buy this boat.
Absolutely. The boat is for charter as well.
And charter as well, absolutely. Pierre's your man. Denison, Monaco. Let's press on. So this is the interior. Now this is where we're starting to see some of the upgrades again, because originally this boat had a dark Wenge floor and the current owner decided that they wanted something lighter to brighten it all up. But the other thing that they did, which is really nice, is this is an American oak. But this used to be across all of here. All these panels were all in American oak, which was fine, but again felt to be a little bit heavy. So this was redone with this upholstered finish, and you'll see that dotted around all over the place, and that really lifts it. You can see it up here as well. It looks really nice. Let's press on a bit further. We've got the side balcony, but also these side doors. So this whole balcony section here is up at the minute because we're alongside another boat, but of course out at anchor you would hydraulically drop that down, put the rails in around it, and these seats here could go out there, and that makes that a really lovely area on the outside of the boat, but also opens this area out of course as well, because you get the fresh air and the light and the view and everything else in through there as well. We'll press on around so you can see here, this is how all the cupboards were originally finished, with the wood across here, but now they have these light panels on and it just brightens the whole thing up. TV rises out of here, so you want to watch a bit of telly you can. Dining area is here, and then also here we've got things like storage for all your various crockery and cutlery. I'll show you over here. Actually, I saw one over here. I'm not going to open it all. I get told off for opening all the cupboards. Now somebody said you shouldn't open all the cupboards. There we go. This kind of stuff is all tucked away in here. That's what I was looking for. Love the finishes on here as well. This looks really nice. But that whole area, I think you'll agree, that is a pretty special area, isn't it? Let's press on a bit further. So from here we can go up, and we will do, to the bridge. We can go down, and we'll do that also to the accommodation areas. There's a side door here as well out onto the outside of the boat. There's also a door here into the crew areas, and we're going to look at that too. So just in here is laundry facilities, that sort of thing, and that's through to the galley. But we'll, as I say, we'll take a look at that properly in a moment. Day heads is here, like so. And then there's an absolutely beautiful main deck owner's cabin, and that's in here. So what we've got in here, if I just pull the door to one side, there's a really big walk-in closet there, drawers and everything else, and so forth. And then forward again, and check that out. Isn't that nice? So new curtains, drapes, I suppose you'd call them, on the sides there. On both sides, new carpet, all that kind of stuff has all been renewed, and it's just as I say, you can see this is a decade old. It looks new, it feels new, but also it's got that contemporary vibe. You can see again here how they've done the light colours on the front of here and around the television surround. Just lifts it all. I think that's great. I think it's a nice job they've done actually. In through here then, and we have got the ensuite to this cabin, really good size as you would imagine. Big shower in the centre. Sometimes people say, why don't they have a bath? Well, it's completely owner preference. When you order these boats, you can have a bath there if you want to, but a lot of owners just simply don't use them, so they would prefer to have a big shower, and that's what this one has got. In here then is the loo. Obviously that's behind a separate door. And then if we come on right round, we've got the twin basins across here. And if we come all the way across, there is another big walk-in wardrobe over on this side. Look at that. Cool, huh? That's a nice cabin, isn't it? Just superb. All right, let's press on a bit further. Plenty to show you on this one, that's for sure. Now, there are various visitations going on, so we need to be a little bit careful about other people on the boat, but I think we should have a fairly free run to this one. I've got a feeling that the people who are on at the same time as me are now on the outside. So we'll come on down, as ever, hope for the best. 4 cabins down here, but what's nice is that normally with these you get sort of like a flat bulkhead and a cabin off that way and a cabin off that way from the main passageway. With this one, they've done this in a sort of a V shape here, and it works really well. And the cabins themselves then are also on a slant, as you can see. These two pretty much mirror each other. So we've got a double bed in here. Again, all this is new in behind here, and they've done the different finishes and different cabins, which is nice. And it just really is set off nicely with the American walnut woodwork. Lovely. Okay, let's carry on round. Ensuite in here. Big shower at the end, of course. And the loo is down that end. So if we cross over, we'll keep on moving on this one. It is a big boat for sure. This then, exactly the same kind of deal. Should point out as well, actually I didn't in this one, that there is, again, your huge walk-in carpeted closets and then drawers around the place where this dressing table is, for example. And this one is the same. So that there is the closet, dressing table, bed. You can see how the finish here is different. On the other one it was like a kind of a alligator finish, and on this one it's more of an upholstered finish. Shelving in here, heads in here. Very nice indeed. Loo in behind there, and again, bits of storage about the place. Little wave in the mirror, and on we go. Okay, so those are the 2 after cabins. These are just bits of storage for housekeeping and that kind of stuff. And then around here, again, these kind of go off almost like a V. I think it works really nicely. And these are very similar, except this one has a double and the other one has singles, which I'll show you in just a minute. So slightly smaller cabins, not by much. Again, with the new drapes and so forth. There's hanging lockers in behind here. We've got AV equipment, we've got drawers, all the usual kind of stuff that you've come to expect. There we go, that's actually a pretty decent size, isn't it? Look at that. Nice. Bathroom in here. Lovely. Okay, back up, crossover. And this, as I mentioned, 2 singles in here. You can make this into a double. I think I'm right in saying you can bring this one across to there. But also there's a Pullman in here, so that comes down as a bed as well. And then there's a ladder that goes in this end, which is why we have sockets in the floor down here for the ladder to go into for access to that. Again, different finishes. It's beautifully done. Very impressed with this. AV equipment, little dressing table underneath, hanging locker in here. Ensuite. Every single cabin on this is a really nice size. Good size cabins, good size ensuite. Consider these are the smallest ones. That gives you some idea, doesn't it? Perfect. Okay, we're going to come out of here. We're going to come back up here. I think we have pretty much covered off the accommodation. We're going to look at crew cabins shortly, but what we're going to do first is head on up. I'm going to bring you up to the bridge, and we're going to take a little look at what's going on up here. So this is the helm station. Check this out. That's rather lovely, isn't it? Beautiful. So here we've got obviously communications, thrusters, throttle controls. Those are the thrusters, sorry, just there. That one's searchlight, in fact. There's screens across here, so navigation, all that kind of stuff is controlled from there. Track stabilizers on here as well. That's this one here, and these are hydraulic fin stabilizers. So they are literally, as the boat rocks, they stabilize it and keep it steady. Helm seat is here, and there's also space here for the crew, or indeed anybody else who wants to come up and watch the ship being operated. That's a nice place to do it from. And we can walk from here straight up onto the flybridge. Now, there is another helm position up here. It's covered up at the minute, but you can see where the wheel is just there. Twin helm seats. Of course, you get a tremendous view from up here. It's a lovely place to be on a nice day. and also pretty good for manoeuvring the boat from as well, of course, because the view out from here is superb. We'll take a walk around the front shortly, but we're going to head across this deck first, show you what it has to offer. Huge sliding roof, so it's got the hard top, but this section here is fabric and folds back. Big dining area. There's a centre leaf you can take out, so you can sit, 12 people around there easily. But if you're just having a drink, you take the centre leaf out and then people can get through and in and all that sort of stuff. This works very well. Bar area is over here. Again, you can see that new upholstery everywhere with the Bentley stitching. And then over here, usual kind of stuff, the grill, the ice maker, the fridge, and so on. Big space up here though. Lovely big space. And check out this hot tub. This is a really good size. And even here you can see they've matched this finish here to the upholstery perfectly. And then sunbathing around the back. Let's come right on around. These are life rafts over here. This is Monaco over here. And then we can look up on top and we can see all the navigation stuff. So radar, antennas, satellite domes, all that kind of stuff, all there on the top. And I think I'm right in saying that this is a shade that comes out of here, looks like it, that powers out to give you shade over this area if you want a bit of extra shade there. Superb. Let's go all the way around, shall we? And then we'll head down. Perhaps we won't go all the way around, shall we? That's the steps down. We will go that way, but rather than squeeze through there, we will come back. Check this out again, because that looks so inviting. And then head down this way. So I think we will take a turn around the decks and then we'll see if we can come in through the crew areas. So we're down here. Huge engine vents, big engines. We'll go and look at those, of course. And then we'll come right on forward. I mentioned that side access door when we were going forward near to the day heads. Well, this is where it comes out, just here. And that's right opposite the crew space, so they can come literally straight out and through there if they need to. And come right up here, and this is another fantastic entertaining space or lounging space up here on the bow. When you're cruising gently down the coast, this actually is the place to be, because you've just got this tremendous view out the front of the boat. You've got lounging here, you've got sunbathing here. It's just fantastic. If we come right on around, then there's some steps down to the part of the crew area, so anchor windlasses, mooring bollards, all that kind of stuff is all down here. And then we will take a step up, take a look around, and that's how she looks. Big chunk of boat, isn't it? Brilliant. Okay, plenty more to show you. A couple of things you can do here. You see this circle in the floor? That's a mounting, so you can have a big shading umbrella here. And in fact, there's another one over here. You can see in the table there's that circular section and another one down underneath. So these come out and you can put a big umbrella in there. So if you want to shade this area, then you can do. It's pretty imposing, isn't it? Okay, let's come back down this side. And this door, if I'm orientated correctly, should take us into the crew areas. Now the crew are on board, so we need to be a little bit careful about going to their areas, but I have spoken to them and they're quite happy to film one of the cabins to give you guys an idea. So this takes us in. Hello there. Hello. I'm just going to film through here, is that okay?
Yes, of course.
Perfect. So we've got pantry area here, and then if we come on forward, really nice big galley area with all the kind of stuff you'd hope to find. Obviously the twin ovens, and then I think that's probably the microwave there, the professional marine dishwasher, all that kind of stuff. Refrigeration is here, fridges and freezers. And then if you remember, we came down this passage and we saw the washing machines here. That's the laundry area, and then this takes us on down to the crew area. Now I say this is in use, so we're going to have a very quick look and then beetle back out again. But just to give you guys an idea, there are 3 crew cabins down here. There's one here, there's one here. The one we're going to show you is this one. They're all pretty much identical, so they have the twin bunks, as you can see, and then a really nice shower area and toilet is tucked away in here, like so. There we go. A lot of storage in around here. And the other thing we have down here is the mess area. And that's here. Nice, comfortable area. Look at that. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to come back out of here. As I say, we're not going to go to delving too deeply. That's what I'm trying to spit out. Massive storage area underneath there. Huge. There we go. Let's come back up. So the only thing we haven't seen then is the engines. I'm just going to show you, just to orientate you again, where we are in the boat. So this is the galley area. But back through here is straight back into that main saloon. So for dining and that kind of thing, it's, you can see the end of the table just there. It's perfect. We're going to go back out. There we go. There is a door on the side here actually, so if you're alongside a quay, you can step straight out from here. We'll head on back. This is this drop balcony. So these are these sliding doors off the saloon, and this is the balcony, and what this does is it powers down hydraulically. Flat, gives you a lovely big balcony off of here. There are of course rails then that drop into these sockets to give you protection. And then this one takes us down to the engine room. So just pull that all the way open, like so, and in we go. Now there's a lot of engineering stuff going on down here, apart from the engines themselves of course. There's another set of laundry facilities for a start. There are water makers, 2 of those, one down here and one up here. Emergency steering is here as well, but the other thing we've got is access to the garage. And there we go, check that out. Now that is, I think, just over 5 metre tender. It's a big tender, but it's not the biggest you can fit in here, because you can see how much space there is ahead of it and around it. They deliberately chose to have a slightly smaller one because they have a chase boat. So they don't need a big tender, and they prefer to have more floor space for whatever else you want to keep in here, water sports gear, that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you want a large one, I think it'll take just over 6 metres in there, so a big tender for sure. And if we come round and we go forward, this is the engine space. Upgraded generators on this, there's one either side. So these are a pair of MTU 2016V M94s, 2,640 horsepower each. It's actually got an upgraded fuel capacity on this one. I think it's up by about 5,000 litres to about 20,000, it's doing over 1,000 miles of range. These are pushing this boat up to about 26 knots flat out. Cruising therefore 18 knots, 20 knots, something like that, and range is 1,000 miles plus, I think. I haven't got the exact figures for that, but that's what I would estimate. There we go. If we come over to this side, engineering space back here. There's also another route out straight up onto the deck for an emergency. This is interesting. This is an Atlas system. This is a voltage and frequency converter. So wherever you plug in the world, that will convert whatever you're taking in into whatever the boat needs. So that is a very useful thing. And that is the cassette for the Passerelle, I believe, that we came on. We walked up to that sort of like a gangplank, picked the tracks into that. It's the generator there. I've got a feeling these are 60 kilowatts each. So they're bigger than standard. But yeah, very, very nice and impressive space. A bit noisy at the minute, generators are running because the shore power here is not powerful enough to cope with this boat. It's on a temporary mooring for the boat show. So that is that. That's the garage. I think we've just about done it, haven't we? Let's head back up where it's a little bit quieter. There we go. And I think we'll finish up on the bow. It's when you walk from one to the other, you get a sense of the size of this, isn't it? There we go. Absolutely fantastic. And a nice view of Monaco in the sunshine. Beautiful. Well, there we go. Sunseeker 115 yacht. Massively impressed with that. Huge thanks to Denison Yachts. They organised that tour. As mentioned, they got this from sale and they got it for charter. So if you fancy a week on this, give Pierre a shout. I'll put a link to those guys in the description. Huge thanks to you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, as ever, and we'll catch you in another one of these very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.